Hey, it's Sunday morning and I wanted to go live for a minute because I was thinking about some things and some ways that people perceive what's going on right now, and I just wanted to shed a little bit of light, interestingly enough, on the subject and the topic. So I posted that verse because it's like one of the most, it's actually John 3:17, and then some more verses, but I don't really care exactly which ones because it's really not the point. The point is, it's like the verses that follow one of the most touted verses in Christianity, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that who shall ever believe in him, but then also, there's this part, and I'm going to just summarize it because I suck every time I try to word for word something. But basically it talks about how the hard part about all this is that men and mankind, and people in their ignorance, and that's what darkness is often in a metaphor for, is that they love darkness, and that light brings exposure and it brings truth. And I know a lot of people have been thinking man, 2020 feels so dark, and right now, especially with all these protests, it feels so dark. But what I'd like to posit to you is that maybe it's not that it's dark. Maybe it's finally fucking dawn on a new day. And maybe we can finally see and get a glimpse of and have a period of work towards a new day, Maybe it's not that it's so dark right now that lets us see all of these dark and hard things that are happening. Maybe it's that we finally have truth and light and the power of love between all of us, I think it's actually, even though very, very painful right now, and not that any of these things have been justified, but even though everything's really painful right now, that's part of healing and that's part of growth. And we cannot heal or grow unless we see what we are needing to change. And so instead of thinking that, this time is so dark, maybe it's time to start looking at it as, wow, this is the wreckage that the darkness of the night has left us in, the darkness of our ignorance and the darkness of our choice to turn our heads away, and then realizing that it's not dark right now. It's actually finally light. And there's always some great music out there that represents politics and the world pretty well. And I had posted some lyrics, Killing in the Name, and I want to work on some projects with that because it's so appropriate and it's really such a great song. And people have been talking about police brutality and racism and, the Nazi white supremacy type of infiltration within government and law enforcement for a long time. And so I think it's almost like we've gotten little flashlights that have shined on problems, or, we, saw things like Rodney King, and maybe we got a really good glimpse for a moment. But then instead of facing it and continuing on, we let the light go out and we let that, fire inside us die, and before the dawn came. And so I think it's really important to be careful about how we look at these things right now, and to realize that, yes, especially our Black and people of color friends, give them space to grieve and hurt. But if you're, white and in a position of privilege, this is the dawn. This is the start of the new day and the new work and everything else. And so just don't forget that as we go through and as we start to see things that are exposed and make us uncomfortable, and as we learn truth that we were not able to see in the darkness. So anyway, that's just my little sermon for Sunday, and I gotta go finish the dog's run. And I love y'all and hope you have a great day and continue the fight. Keep going, don't stop. It's not over until Black mamas don't have to feel the inevitability of, you know, their babies being murdered by police. You know, we don't get to stop until that feeling in Black mothers goes away.